the small visitor. Eli lived at the edge of the colony, where the ground was dry and the wind never stopped talking. His home was small, made of old metal sheets and broken machine parts he had repaired again and again. People in the colony called him strange, but not in a bad way. He was quiet. He helped when asked, and he never complained. Every day was the same. Eli woke before sunrise. He checked his crops, fixed broken tools, and collected water from the old pump that worked only because he refused to give up on it. When night came, he sat outside his home and watched the stars. He liked the silence. Silence was honest. That evening felt normal at first. The sky was red and orange, and the air smelled of dust. Eli carried a box of tools back to his shed when he felt something watching him. It was not fear. It was awareness, the kind that made the back of his neck feel warm. He stopped walking. Slowly, he turned. Near the broken fence, half hidden behind tall grass, something small moved. At first, Eli thought it was an animal, maybe a wild crawler or a lost farm beast. Then it lifted its head. It had scales, small ones, dull blue, mixed with gray. Its eyes were large and bright, like polished glass. Two tiny horns curved back from its head, chipped at the ends. One wing dragged slightly on the ground. Eli held his breath. A dragonling. Everyone knew dragons were real, but no one ever saw them here. Dragons lived far away, beyond the safe routes, beyond the maps. They were powerful, dangerous, not something a small colony human should ever meet. The dragonling did not move closer. It just watched. Eli did the only thing that felt right. Nothing. He stayed where he was. No sudden moves. No reaching for tools. No shouting. He slowly placed the box down and took one step back. The dragonling tilted its head. Then, after a long moment, it stepped back too. They stayed like that until the sun disappeared. When the cold came, the dragonling turned and vanished into the grass. That night, Eli did not sleep much. The next day, the fence near the grass was broken more than before. One metal bar was bent, as if something had pushed against it and failed. Eli fixed it quietly. When he finished, he placed a small bowl of water near the fence. He told himself it was for wild animals. He knew it was a lie. That evening, the dragonling returned. It came closer this time, close enough that Eli could see the scars on its wing. Old scars, burn marks, not fresh. Eli felt something heavy in his chest. He stepped back and went inside. When he came out, he placed a piece of dried meat near the bowl of water. Then he sat on the ground, far away, and looked at the sky as if nothing special was happening. Minutes passed, then the sound of soft claws on dirt. The dragonling drank first. Then it sniffed the meat. It hesitated. Finally, it took a small bite. Eli did not smile. He did not move. Trust, he knew, was fragile. From that day on, the dragonling came every evening. It never crossed the fence. It never made a sound. It watched Eli work. It watched him eat. Sometimes it watched him fix broken machines, its head moving slowly, as if trying to understand. The colony noticed strange things. Animals stopped coming near Eli's land. The wind felt different. Once a patrol drone flew too close and lost power, crashing into the dirt. People asked Eli questions. Have you seen anything strange? Are you hiding something? Is it dangerous? Eli only said no, because the dragonling had never hurt anyone. One evening, Eli found something near the fence. A gift, a smooth metal ring, old and burned. Not from the colony, not from any ship he recognized. The dragonling watched him as he picked it up. Eli placed the ring back on the ground and nodded once. The dragonling's eyes shined. That night, Eli heard something new. Far away, beyond the hills, beyond the clouds. A deep sound. Not loud, not close, but powerful. The ground trembled for just a second. Eli looked up at the stars. For the first time since the dragonling arrived, he felt fear. Not of the small visitor, but of what might be looking for it. And somewhere in the darkness, the dragonling lifted its head and listened, its body tense, as if it knew that this quiet life could not last much longer. The silent bond. The dragonling did not come the next evening. Eli noticed at the moment the sun touched the horizon. The fence was quiet. The grass did not move. For the first time in weeks, Eli felt the silence press against him instead of calming him. He waited. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Nothing. Eli told himself it was normal. Wild creatures did not follow schedules. Dragons least of all. Still, when darkness fully settled, he left the food untouched and went inside with a heavy feeling in his chest. That night, his dreams were restless. He dreamed of wings burning across the sky, of chains falling from clouds, of eyes watching him from very far away. When morning came, Eli stepped outside and froze. The fence was damaged again, but not broken. Something had landed there. Deep claw marks cut into the dirt. The metal posts were bent inward, not outward, as if something had stood between the fence and Eli's home, protecting it. Eli swallowed. Whatever had come during the night was big. Very big. He spent the day fixing tools he did not need to fix and checking machines that already worked. His eyes kept drifting to the sky. Every sound felt louder. Every shadow felt longer. By evening, the wind picked up, and then he saw it. The Dragonling. It came running this time, not careful, not slow. It stumbled through the grass and collapsed near the fence. Its breathing was fast. One wing shook as if it could not fully control it. Eli did not think. He moved. Slowly. Carefully. He knelt several steps away and placed water closer than ever before. Then food. Then he stopped. The Dragonling lifted its head. Its eyes were wide, not with fear but urgency. It drank. Ate. Then it made a sound for the first time. A low, broken chirp. Eli felt his heart twist. He noticed new marks on its scales. Fresh ones. Burned lines. And something worse, small metal cuts, clean and sharp. "They found you," Eli whispered, though he did not know who they were. The Dragonling looked straight at him, and then it did something no dragon was supposed to do. It bowed its head, not deep, not fully, but enough. Eli understood. This was not just a visitor anymore. This was a promise. From that day, the Dragonling stayed closer. It slept near the fence at night, curled in the grass. When storms came, it did not run. When patrol drones passed overhead, it pressed itself low and watched the sky with burning focus. Eli noticed other changes. The air around his land felt heavier, warmer. Machines stopped failing. Once, when a thief tried to break into Eli's shed, the man ran screaming, swearing something had growled behind him. No one believed him. Eli did. One night, the Dragonling brought another gift. This time, it was not metal. It was a broken collar. Thick, heavy, covered in old symbols burned deep into the surface. Eli's hands trembled as he touched it. "This was never a pet," he said quietly. The Dragonling made a soft sound, almost like agreement. That same night, the sky changed. Clouds formed too fast. Stars faded behind thick darkness. The wind stopped completely, as if the world was holding its breath. Eli stepped outside. The Dragonling stood tall now, wings half open, staring upward. Then the sound came. A roar. Not close, but not far enough. It rolled through the sky like thunder with meaning. Not anger, not hunger. A call. The Dragonling answered. Its small body shook as it lifted its head and released a sharp cry into the dark sky. The sound cut through the air, thin but brave. Eli felt the ground respond. Something answered back. Multiple somethings. The Dragonling turned to Eli. For a brief moment, its eyes softened. Then it looked back to the sky. Eli understood the truth too late. This was never a lonely dragon. It was a scout, a survivor, a messenger. And now it had been found. As the clouds began to move in impossible patterns above him, Eli stood beside the fence, knowing one simple fact with painful clarity. The quiet days were over, and whatever was coming because of him. When the sky remembered. The sky did not wake up with the sun. Eli noticed at the moment he stepped outside. The light was wrong, pale, weak, as if the morning itself was afraid to fully arrive. The air felt thick, pressing down on his chest with every breath. The Dragonling was already awake. It stood near the fence, body tense, wings pulled tight against its sides. Its eyes never left the clouds. They moved slowly, sliding in long, smooth lines against the wind. That should not happen. Eli felt a chill run through him. By midday, the colony began to panic. Communication towers failed one by one. Navigation lights blinked out. A transport ship attempting to land suddenly veered off course and barely escaped crashing into the hills. People shouted. Soldiers ran. Weapons were pulled from storage for the first time in years. Eli stayed where he was. He had stopped pretending this had nothing to do with him. The Dragonling let out a low sound deep in its throat. Not fear, not warning. Respect. The first shadow passed over the land in complete silence. No engine sound, no wind, just darkness sliding across the ground like a memory returning home. Eli looked up. The clouds parted. Something massive moved above them. A shape so large the eye could not fully hold it. Ancient wings stretched across the sky, their edges glowing faintly as if carrying old fire inside them. Scars covered its scales, each one telling a story of battle, loss, and survival. A dragon, not a beast, a presence. Every alarm in the colony died at once. People fell silent. The dragon did not roar. It circled once, slow and calm, its gaze sweeping across the land. When its eyes passed over the colony, walls cracked. When they passed over Eli's farm, the ground stilled. Then it descended. The impact shook the world. Dust rose in great waves as the dragon landed beyond the hills, just far enough to be seen, but not threatened. Its wings folded like mountains closing. The Dragonling bowed deeply. Eli followed, his knees touching the ground without him deciding to move. The air burned, not with heat, but pressure. A voice filled the sky. Not loud, not soft, old. The lost one has been found. The words were not heard. They were felt. The dragon's gaze fixed on Eli. Eli's heart pounded, but he did not look away. I didn't keep it, Eli said, his voice shaking. I just didn't chase it off. The great dragon studied him. The Dragonling moved closer to Eli, placing its small body between him and the sky, wings half open. A shield. The dragon's eyes narrowed, not in anger, in surprise. You were not chosen, the voice said. Yet you were remembered. The ground trembled again. More shadows appeared in the clouds. One, then another, then many. The sky darkened as shapes moved behind the storm, their wings stirring the air for the first time. The colony screamed. The great dragon lifted its head and released a roar that shook the stars. The sound was not a call to attack. It was a command. The smaller shadows slowed, circled, waited. Eli felt the truth settle into his bones. This was not an invasion. This was a gathering. The Dragonling looked up at the great dragon, then back at Eli. Its eyes burned with pride, fear, and something else. Hope. The herd approaches, the voice echoed. And they will ask why a human stands where dragons kneel. Eli swallowed. I don't know how to answer that, he said. The great dragon's gaze softened, just slightly. Then the sky will answer for you. Thunder rolled, not from clouds but from wings. High above, more dragons broke through the storm, their forms filling the heavens. And as the sky finally remembered its ancient rulers, Eli understood one terrifying truth. The galaxy was about to learn that kindness could summon gods. The day the herd touched the ground, the sky broke open, not with fire, not with lightning, with wings. They came through the clouds one by one at first, slow and careful, as if even the sky needed time to accept them. Then more followed, dozens, hundreds. Their shadows moved across the land like living night. The colony froze. Soldiers stood with weapons raised, but trembling. Commanders shouted orders no one followed. Screens filled with warning signs, then went dark as if they refused to witness what was happening. Eli did not move. The Dragonling stood beside him, head high, wings slightly open. It was no longer hiding. The first dragon landed beyond the hills. The ground shook hard enough to knock people to their knees. Dust rose in a massive wave, rolling toward the colony like a slow storm. When it cleared, the shape of the dragon remained, huge, scarred, ancient. Then another landed, and another. Each impact felt like a heartbeat of the planet itself. Soon, the land around the colony was filled with dragons. Some were long and thin, their scales glowing like embers. Others were wide and heavy, their bodies carved with deep scars and old metal wounds. Many carried marks of chains burned into their flesh. These were not hunters. They were survivors. The great elder dragon descended last. It did not crash into the ground. It touched it gently, like a king stepping on his sacred land. Its eyes swept over the gathered herd, then the colony, and finally stopped on Eli. Every dragon lowered its head. The sound was like mountains breathing. People cried. Some ran. Some collapsed where they stood. The elder dragon spoke. "This land is under witness." The words pressed into every mind, heavy and clear. No fire will fall. No claw will strike. Not today. Weapons dropped to the ground. The Dragonling walked forward, past the fence, past Eli, into the open space between human and dragon. It lifted its head and released a sharp, clear cry. The herd answered. A low, rolling sound filled the air, not anger but unity. The elder dragon turned its gaze back to Eli. "This one was cast out," it said. "Weak," they said. "Broken." The Dragonling stood taller. It returned not with conquest, but with trust. The elder dragon lowered its massive head until its eyes were level with Eli. "Human," the voice said, "why did you protect what the sky had abandoned?" Eli's hand shook. "I didn't protect it," he said honestly. "I just didn't hurt it." Silence followed. Then something impossible happened. The elder dragon laughed. The sound was deep and warm, like distant thunder rolling through stone. "That," it said, "is why the herd followed." The elder dragon lifted its head, wings spreading wide. "Hear this, sky and ground," it declared. "Kindness without command is the oldest power." One by one, the dragons turned their gaze outward, toward the stars, toward the colony, toward the wider galaxy beyond. Signals from orbit exploded across every channel. This gathering was being seen, recorded, feared. The elder dragon spoke one final time. "Let the watchers come," it said. "Let the galaxy see who stands with the abandoned." The Dragonling returned to Eli's side and pressed its head gently against his leg. The ground was covered in dragons. The sky was full of wings. And far away, across the stars, alarms began to scream. Because the galaxy had just learned something it was never prepared to understand. The Age of Dragons had not ended. It had been waiting. The truth written in scars. The dragons did not move. They stood like living mountains around the colony, wings folded, eyes alert. The herd was silent, but the silence was heavy, filled with meaning. Every human felt it. This was not a moment to speak without care. The elder dragon lifted one massive claw and pressed it into the ground. The earth answered. Old markings beneath the soil began to glow, lines and symbols older than the colony, older than human maps. They spread outward in a wide circle, stopping just before the colony walls. A boundary, a promise. Before fire ruled the stars, the elder dragon said, "Dragons guarded the paths between worlds." Images flooded every mind. Dragons flying beside ancient ships. Trade routes protected by wings instead of guns. Worlds that thrived under watchful skies. Then the images changed. Chains, cages. Dragon fire turned into fuel. The galaxy grew afraid. The voice continued. "So it called us monsters." The Dragonling stepped forward. The elder dragon lowered its head, touching the young one gently with its snout. The scars on the Dragonling's wing began to glow. "This one was marked," the elder dragon said. "Not for weakness, for disobedience." The images returned. The Dragonling refusing to burn a village, refusing to strike unarmed humans, refusing to obey. Mercy was named failure, the elder dragon said, and so it was cast out. Eli's chest tightened. "They try to make it a weapon," he said quietly. The elder dragon looked at him. Yes. A sudden sound tore through the sky. Ships. Human-made warships dropped from hyperspace, surrounding the colony in a wide arc. Their weapons charged instantly, glowing with violent light. A cold voice filled the air through speakers. Unidentified dragon formation. You are ordered to disperse immediately." The herd did not react. The elder dragon raised its head. "We will not." Weapons locked on. The Dragonling moved in front of Eli again, wings spread wide. The elder dragon's voice dropped, slow and dangerous. "These scars," it said, "are the price of obedience." One of the warships fired a warning shot into empty land. The ground exploded. Every dragon lifted its head. Fire did not come. Something worse did. The sky bent. Gravity twisted around the herd, pulling energy inward. The warship's system screamed as power drained, lights dying in waves. Panic spread across human channels. "What is happening? We're losing control. Shut it down. Shut it down." The elder dragon spoke one final truth. "We did not come to conquer," it said. "We came to remember." The ships fell silent, frozen in the sky like toys caught in invisible hands. The elder dragon turned to Eli. "You showed mercy when the galaxy showed chains," it said. "Now the galaxy will choose." The Dragonling looked up at Eli, eyes steady, not afraid, waiting. And across every channel, every world, every listening mind, one truth burned brighter than fear. The dragons were not asking for forgiveness. They were offering judgment. When humanity was measured, the warships hung in the sky, silent and helpless. Their weapons were dead, their engines frozen. Inside, crews waited, breath held, fingers shaking over useless controls. For the first time in their careers, power meant nothing. The elder dragon did not look at them. It looked beyond them, toward the stars, toward the worlds listening through open channels. "Let all hear," the elder dragon said. "Let all remember." Every screen in the sector turned on at once. Civilian feeds, military networks, trade channels, even closed systems cracked open as if the universe itself demanded attention. The image was the same everywhere. A small human standing beside a young dragon. A vast herd surrounding them. An elder whose scars glowed like ancient fire. Eli felt the weight of it press down on him. He was not meant to stand here. The elder dragon spoke again. "Humanity learned to take before it learned to listen," it said. But this one listened. A murmur spread through the herd. The Dragonling stepped forward, lifted its wounded wing, and let the galaxy see the scars clearly. Close, sharp, meant to control, not heal. Gasps echoed through open channels. The elder dragon's voice hardened. "This is what fear creates." A human admiral finally spoke, his voice thin. "We were protecting ourselves." The elder dragon turned its eyes on the warship. "So were we," it replied. The sky darkened further as more dragons rose into the air, forming a living ring around the colony. Not threatening. Final. "Humanity will be measured," the elder dragon declared. "Not by strength, not by weapons." The Dragonling looked at Eli. Eli swallowed and stepped forward. "They're not all the same," he said, his voice carrying farther than it should have. "Some of us were afraid. Some didn't know. Some were taught wrong." Silence followed. Then the elder dragon inclined its head. "Then you will speak for them." Eli's heart pounded. "I don't speak for humanity," he said. "I just chose not to hurt someone smaller than me." The elder dragon studied him for a long moment. Then it spoke words that shook every world listening. "That is enough." The gravity holding the warships tightened, just enough to remind them how close destruction was. "Return," the elder dragon commanded. "Tell your worlds what you saw." One by one, the warships powered down fully, released from the invisible grip, and jumped away in silence. The sky cleared slowly. The herd landed again, calm but watchful. The elder dragon turned to Eli one last time. "This place will be guarded," it said, "not as territory, but as testimony." The Dragonling pressed closer to Eli, its warmth steady and real. Far across the galaxy, leaders argued, empires panicked, and old lies cracked under fresh light. Because humanity had just been measured, and for the first time in its long, violent history, it had passed. The kindness that changed the sky. The herd did not leave that night. The dragons settled around the colony like living walls, their bodies forming a circle of silent protection. Fires were lit without flame. The air felt warm, safe, and heavy with something close to peace. For the first time since the warships fled, people began to breathe again. Eli sat on the ground, near his home. The Dragonling curled beside him. Its breathing was slow now, calm. The fear that once lived in its eyes was gone, replaced by quiet certainty. The elder dragon watched them for a long time. "This is where the story changes," it said. Eli looked up. "I didn't want a story." The elder dragon's eyes softened. Stories are born when someone chooses differently. As dawn approached, the dragons began to rise. One by one, they lifted into the sky, their wings cutting clean paths through the clouds. They did not hurry. They did not hide. They wanted to be seen. Across the galaxy, messages spread faster than fear ever had. Videos, images, witness reports. The truth of chains and scars could not be erased. Empires stopped using dragon power. Trade routes reopened under shared protection. Worlds once burned were allowed to heal. The elder dragon remained. "This one will stay," it said, nodding toward the Dragonling. "Not as a guardian, but as family." Eli felt his throat tighten. "I don't know how to care for a dragon." The Dragonling lifted its head and touched Eli's hand with its warm snout. The elder dragon gave a low, gentle sound. "You already have." When the elder dragon finally took to the sky, it did not roar. It simply vanished into the light, leaving behind calm instead of fear. Years passed. The colony grew. Ships came not with weapons, but with questions. Travelers came to see the place where dragons bowed. Children grew up knowing that power did not always roar. And sometimes, at sunset, a young dragon flew low over the fields, circling a small human home at the edge of the land. The story spread everywhere. Not of fire, not of war, but of a wandering dragonling who chose a human, and a human who chose kindness. And in doing so, taught the galaxy that the smallest choices could move the sky itself.